As you can gather from my name on YouTube, Ginger Dundee SEO, I do come from the city of Dundee, Scotland. So it would be remiss of me not to bring you this product. This was released just a couple of weeks ago. This is the first time I've had a chance to get a hold of it. As you can see, it is Monopoly, the fast dealing property trading game, Dundee edition. As you can see on the box, this is the front of the box, many trademarks and photographs of the city of Dundee, Scotland. A lot of different trademarks, including RRS Discovery, elephant statues from the Camperdown Wildlife Park, some pipers, pictures from different parks and gardens, the McManus Gallery, and of course one of the most famous characters to come out of Dundee, Desperate Dan, along with his dog, D-A-W-G, Desperate Dog. Now, as you can see, this is the front box. Also, I'll show you the back and read you the text that is on the back, the description of this game. As you see there, that's the board, which I'll show you close up in a few moments. I'll read you the text that is on the rear of this box. Known as the City of Discovery, Dundee is a vibrant city proud of its tradition and history, born of the three J's: jam, jute and journalism. Dundee has transformed itself in recent years into a lively, cosmopolitan centre that's great for a fun family day out, or as an increasingly popular choice to set up home. Monopoly captures the magic of the region in this unique Dundee edition. Begin your journey on the board by visiting the roots of Dundee at Verdant Works and exploring the jute trade that helped shape the city's heritage. Then immerse yourself in history at the museum housed in Broughty Ferry Castle, where fascinating displays reveal the stories of those from Dundee's past. A stroll through the wildlife centre at Camperdown Park should enable you to see some of your favourite animals. As you continue your journey, soak up the atmosphere at a top-level football game, cheering on your favourite team at either Dens Park or Tannadice Park. Alternatively, experience the cultural side of life, take in an award-winning show at the Caird Hall, or discover stunning art at the McManus. There are plenty of property development options to consider at City Quay and West Market Gate, before taking a rest in the serene surrounds of the University of Dundee Botanic Garden. Venturing around to the final side of the board, take some time to wonder at the sensational waterfront development and the spectacular V&A Museum, before walking on board the RRS Discovery and learning all about Captain Scott and his brave crew. All of these sights and more are immortalised in the Dundee Monopoly board. So locate your favourite Dundee hotspot and roll the dice to begin your property building empire in this new version of Monopoly. I shall now show you the board. We begin the tour at Dundee Law. Where else? Dundee Law Hill is the base, very much the base of the city of Dundee. Almost the entire city is based on or the surrounding grounds of the Law Hill. As you can see, Dundee has become a very busy and full city over the years. Dundee is of course over 800 years old. We now go to Camperdown Park Wildlife Centre and House. Now you see, this is a picture of the lake there. You can go and, as the back text says, you can go and see some of your favourite animals. We have Broughty Ferry Castle there. Broughty Ferry, as again the text says, is recently, and it's full of displays of the past battles and artifacts from various past. You also get some very good views in Broughty Ferry of the main parts of the city, especially of how the city actually sits on the Law Hill. You also have here Dundee Airport, a thriving, bustling commuter centre, used of course most famously by Lorraine Kelly, who also appears on one of on the cards, which I'll show you later. Dundee Airport has many routes, including, as I said, used by Lorraine Kelly. You can be in the city of London in just 1 hour. Generic income tax there. Verdant Works. This is where there's at least the biggest jute factory. Dundee was ideally placed on the east coast to bring in the jute from the places like India, and ideally placed to process it, and then also using the same ports to export it to literally all over the world. You see Community Chest there. You also see TAM. It's a popular radio station in Dundee, and you can get that also around Tayside and Fife. You see Southward Road with Fat Sam's nightclub there. Very popular with the great, the good, and the not so great and the good. They're from celebrity personalities to the general public. They're welcome there. So it's all everybody goes there. Discovery Point, of course, the home of the RRS Discovery ship made famous by Captain Scott, bought by the Dundee City Council for just a single penny, and now berths at the Discovery Point. And see the building beside it, if I can see it, that is full of displays, exhibitions concerning the ship and its history. Also, you get a cafe in there, and so you can go get a bite to eat. It's very good, very interesting if you're interested in maritime history. Very a lot of detail on this history. Again, another generic bank deposit. The V&A Museum at the waterfront. The Victoria and Albert Museum is not actually built as an artist's rendering. They're at the process of starting to clear the ground to build it, so that's an actual artist's rendering. It's not actually there at the moment, but in a couple of years it will be. And again, Chance Top Trumps. Dundee, this is also another one that's an artist rendering, I believe, that they're going to start working a couple of soon. With this Dundee rail station, they'll be starting work on revamping that very soon. The Alliance Trust building, again Community Chest, and this time TFM. Again the TAM sister, big brother really station, or big sister station, most popular radio station in Tayside Music Station. Now these two of the prides of Dundee, University of Dundee and University of Aberdeen Dundee, both leading the way in different researches. In both universities, we have people leading the way in researches in diseases, technology, manufacturing, a lot of different researchers going on. And it was in fact, I believe it's the University of Dundee, where the world famous video game series Grand Theft Auto was actually created. The creators were students in the city at the time that they came up with the idea of the game. It was also featured actually in a local news item regarding video game development, as the course was proving so successful it got the attention of the press. West Marketgate, you see the hotel, Westport, again General Waterworks, City Key Union Property Group. The Unicorn is actually the other more famous ship that is berthed in the city of Dundee harbours. Very nice ship, very worth a visit as well. Blackadder Solicitor, Reform Street, Commercial Street is the shopping hubs. We have the Overgate and the Wellgate. There's so many places in Dundee. Unfortunately, they couldn't all put them all on the board. Otherwise, the board would be absolutely huge. So many spaces. You have this, the Tay Road Bridge. One of the ways to get in and out of Dundee. You see it's very long, very mile long bridge. It's charging free of charge now to use. It's very good views as well as you're going over, entering the city of the docks and the sea line and the minute which the front of the city. Warrical Games, another leader in technology in the city. You also see her on the right, Evening Telegraph. That is owned by D.C. Thomson. Owned and printed by D.C. Thomson. D.C. Thomson is famous across the world. Of course, for making the Beano, the Dandy, Urwillies, the Bruins, Commando, Hotspur, and many both male and female comics and magazines over the years. Again, another top generic one. Dundee Jam. It was Mackay's of Dundee that really perfected the modern recipe for marmalade. Although there was recipes around for quite a few years, it really was them that perfected the recipe of what you see now. That's also recently featured on the Hairy Bikers when they visited the city a while ago, last year. They visited the city and saw the process. Free parking. You also have the McManus Gallery. McManus Gallery is celebrating at the moment as they have just passed the 500,000th visitor since its revamp and relaunch. Building work for approximately 2 years. Again, that's another place I haven't had the chance to actually visit since its revamp. I'm planning on doing that very soon. A lot of interesting exhibitions and events going on there. As you see, it's in a circle, kind of on its own, almost to the side. They've extended the pavement, so it's not entirely, but in the circle nowadays, as you can see on the right hand side, see people walking down there. But it used to be on the circle on its own. But as I said, it's had a massive relift. Now the Caird Hall. This is right in the city. Dominates the city centre, right to the city square. This is where many of the top touring acts and names perform, from Jimmy Carr to Nicola Benedetti. We've had many top comedians, musicians, everything, all types of performers, from theatre groups to ballet to you name them, and that kind of event has been at the Caird Hall. You should also see Community Chess, Wave 102. This is actually, I might just point out that Wave 102 is separate to TFM and TAM. It's another radio station. It's not linked to Radio T or FM, I don't believe. Commercial Street, see Enough Pipin, Toymaster. Commercial Street, as I said, that's the obviously the commercial hub. Like we said, we've got the Wellgate on one end of the town, city centre, and we've got the Overgate on the other side, full of shops, bustling, and both are, of course, due to the recession, some shops have closed down, but both are certainly attracting new shops, new interest, and there are several great projects going on currently at this time for both shopping centres. We also have the Tay Rail Bridge. Tay Rail Bridge, of course, most famously for the Tay Rail Bridge disaster, also immortalised in the famous poem by local Dundee poet William McGonagall. Most of Aquarius, of course, read on a visit to the city of Dundee. Billy Connolly, on his tour of Scotland show on the BBC, read out that poem on the top of the low hill. Got there when it was sunny, and of course it started to blizzard with snow when he got there, which he says, and I completely agree, hopefully William McGonagall would have had a good chuckle at. And we also come to the Scottish professional football teams that Dundee have. We have Tannadice Park for Dundee United, who play in the Tangerine and Black. Dens Park for Dundee Football Club, and you can see they play in the dark blue and white. And Dundee, of course, just coming up to the Premier Division after Glasgow Rangers went down to the 3rd Division. General Electric Company, and finally Olympia Leisure Centre. Olympia is actually going to be closing down soon in its couple of years. They are already building, and it's already coming on to shaping up the replacement. I'm not entirely sure what the replacement facility is going to be officially named. It has not been confirmed what the official name is for the replacement centre, but it's I've been there, of course, many times over the years. It's with swimming baths, like I said on the text, the Cannonball is the very famous shoot in Dundee that takes you outside of the building and back into the building before it launches you into the water. So that is in the jail. That's what the game board. But as you can see, the board is looking a bit bare. You need a few things to play Monopoly, and of course they are provided. The game is pretty much the same, apart from you're buying Dundee properties on this game. Of course, you always need your your properties. They're red and green. Your dice, 2 white, 1 red. With some symbol on it, the German on it, and the bus as well. The usual symbols. You need plenty of money. Monopoly money, of course. See, this is the packet. Different colours for different tender amounts. Tender. You, of course, need an instruction on how to play the game. And you need your players' tokens. Now, you also get we'll got this nice drawstring bag in which to keep your tokens, the players' tokens, or players' representatives, if you will. We have the, of course, famous iron. We have the top hat. We also have a wheelbarrow, the battleship, and the book, with of course a race roll there. You see, we have the thimble. See there, we have the racing car, and of course the wee Scottish Terrier. Now, of course, you get cards as well in this game, and I'll show you the cards. Again, the cards have been localised to the city of Dundee. As I say, I won't bother showing you the mortgage cards, the place cards, because they are just exactly the same as the spaces on the board that I showed you. You also have community chest in blue and chance cards in this nice shade of orange. What's on these community chest cards? As I said, these are also being localised, of course, for the city of Dundee. We have you win first prize at the Flower and Food Festival. With the turnip you grew at the Dundee Law allotments. Flower and Food Festival is a very popular annual festival in the city of Dundee. Many of the top chefs, gardeners and crafters come to the city, such as Nick Nairn and Beach Grove Garden have been there in past years. You go to jail. You have been caught littering in the city square. Pay a fine. You've just found a jar of 1797 Dundee orange marmalade in your attic. Mackay's reward you for your historical find. You are caught sitting in the logboat at the Broughty Ferry Castle Museum. Congratulations, you have held shares in the Lions Trust plc. You have been awarded with first-class honours. You've been awarded a degree with first-class honours from the University of Dundee. You are late for an award-winning show at the Caird Hall, and as I said, many of the top performers have been at the Caird Hall. Get out of jail free card, as always, in Monopoly. Your Abertay University degree lands you the ideal job to kickstart your career. Advance to go. You are assessed for street repairs. Your office at Unicorn City Key Development has won the annual Scottish Property Award. Your friends have take you out to celebrate your promotion. Collect from every player. Congratulations, your app developed by Oracle has reached #1 in the App Store. And finally, it's your birthday. You have won a lunch date with Lorraine Kelly. Receive 25. I'll pass on that, thank you. To the chance cards. Again, I'll just quickly go through these. Show the ones that we have, just to show everybody who has not got live in Dundee what some of the localization that they've done to this game. Firstly, install, this is probably a general one, install free high-speed Wi-Fi in all your properties. There are some localised ones. Advance to Olympia Leisure Centre. You plan to meet your friends at the Desperate Dan statue in town, but turn up late. Again, that's just outside the Caird Hall, actually, just across the city square. As you can see on the picture earlier, Desperate Dog and Minnie the Minx standing right beside him. You walk up Dundee Law, fall back 3 spaces. You have taken a wrong turn at the city centre roadworks and go to Fife by mistake, and that's up to across the Tay Road Bridge. And I'm sure people have done that before. It could be slightly confusing if you haven't been to the city before, and it's very easily done. I'm sure it has been done before. Advance to the nearest travel square. Another get out of jail free card. Advance to the nearest travel square again. You've won a holiday. Go straight to Dundee Airport. Blackadder's solicitors advise you of an inheritance in a long-lost relative's will. Advance to Discovery Point. Most of these are probably generalised ones. Just change the wording to Dundee, localisation for Dundee. Advance to South Tay Street. I'll go to jail card. Advance to gold card, generalist card. Congratulations, you've just been given free entry to the Olympia Leisure Centre, Scotland's best flume pool. If you can face going down the cannonball, collect it. That's the one that takes you outside the building, back into the building at a very sharp bend, and before you drop into the water. And finally, advance to the nearest utility. So that's a look at the Monopoly Dundee edition. As you say, it's like the general game of Monopoly. As I said, the game remains the same. It's just been localised to the city of Dundee. I think it looks very good. Obviously, many Dundonians like myself could go and look through the game and see that there's so many sites from the city of Dundee that are not here because, I said, there are so many sites. The board would have to be one of those large human-sized boards you sometimes see in artwork and art projects. A very large board indeed. There's so many. Like the other unicorn is not there. So many things. And let you see up close, which that is actually the Broughty Ferry Beach. Looking out, some very good views. I said that the picture now merging into the Tate Rail Bridge down to the park. And you see down, you can sit the handstand and the bench. There's several benches there. Down at the waterfront, you can see trains going by, boats and ships in the water. So that's the Dundee Monopoly edition. Hope you enjoyed the look at that game, and if you're a Dundonian, hope you enjoyed playing it.